What is happening in luxury? So many things have happened lately in the luxury world that would never have happened 10 years ago. AP collaborated with Swatch, Ferrari just went electric, and some of the most expensive, prestigious fashion houses in the world have been quietly raising their prices while production and quality is getting worse. These aren't accidents. These are deliberate decisions by these brands to go in a different direction. And it's definitely changing how we view luxury and what luxury actually is. So back in the good old days, luxury was based on one simple premise, which is you pay more, you get more. Higher prices meant better materials, better craft, and longer lasting, more exclusive products or experiences. The promise justified everything. You still got the status, you still got to flex on everyone else, and the wait list and the markups and the gatekeeping. The products actually qualify themselves by being higher quality and hard to get. But what we've seen recently is that between 2023 and 2025, roughly 80% of the luxury market growth came from price increases, not new or better products. Dior, Gucci, Louis Vuitton all raised their prices significantly. And what we saw is that Italian prosecutors opened an investigation into their supply chains, finding subcontractors using undocumented labor in conditions that had nothing to do with a Parisian atelier story being told. So you're paying for a premium product created by not artisans in a studio somewhere, but by undocumented workers in a third world country, and you're still paying a premium. Gucci's brand value fell 35% in a period. Louis Vuitton down nearly 5%. Hermes, the only house that held its standards, value grew over 17%. So when the price goes up and the bag falls apart, customers definitely notice. That breaks the trust that the customer has with your product and your brand. And this is definitely one of the most dangerous things to do in luxury, is increasing your prices and letting quality drop at the same time, because it's an erosion of the one thing and the trust that luxury cannot afford to lose. If I pay 10, 20, 30x for this product, it should last longer, it should be higher quality, it should be made by people who actually know what they're doing. And then just recently we saw the AP and Swatch collab. I've spoken on this, I've written about this, but AP broke the rules completely. So Audemars Piguet is one of the biggest and most important brands in the watchmaking space. They have been in the holy trinity forever, and you can't buy them. You need to get on a waiting list, you need to buy whatever else they want you to buy to get to the Royal Oak, which they just printed in plastic for $400. Now, this might be a smart move, it might be a horrible one. My take is that AP justified this by saying they want to introduce a new generation to mechanical watchmaking, ergo they are trying to target the younger audience. On that, they completely failed, because if you look at the lines who stood outside Swatch and all the Swatch boutiques they needed to shut down because they were fighting and whatever else AP do not want to be associated with, there are no kids. You're not selling to them. There are no next generation buyers. There were only flippers in the line, and now the second-hand market pricing are dropping. I don't think it was a wise move, but it's an indication of what we're seeing in luxury. I don't think these brands actually know about the next generation of buyers or are tapped into the next generation of buyers. I don't understand how they're not. They have unlimited resources to actually do that job, but they're not understanding the Gen Z or younger millennial or whoever they're trying to target. It's definitely an indication of where luxury is going and how they are breaking more and more rules to try to market to them. But if you're breaking too many rules and you lose your existing clients, your client base, you lose market value, you lose your revenue, and you lose your brand equity that you have spent 100 years building up. And lastly, a big controversial step is the Ferrari Luce. I just made a video on it. It's live on the channel where I go through everything and my point of view on this. So I'll make this a bit shorter. Ferrari released a cross between a Hyundai and a BYD and made it 500,000 euros. It's mind-boggling to see Ferrari do this. It might pay off. I don't know. My point of view is that no one wants this, and you're going against what everything Ferrari stands for. And Enzo Ferrari is probably rolling in his grave because this is not about racing. It's not about driving cars. It's not about motorsport. It's nothing close or related to it. Ferrari is a feeling, it's status, it's the love of driving. Ferrari don't need a new target audience. They're the most profitable car company on earth, but they're taking risks, and we'll see how it pays off. So we're seeing more and more of extreme activities and risks taken in the luxury space, which is interesting. Don't get me wrong. It's very interesting to see some of these brands actually trying and doing something different. But I think instead of going all the way out when your watch costs $20,000 and selling it for $400, or completely betraying your customers' trust with increased prices and lower quality products, or complete 360 on what your brand stands for in terms of the Ferrari, you could test differently and also understand what the market actually wants, what your customer wants. I understand that these people are definitely greedy and want more sales, more revenue, and more profit, but your customers are already buying. These are some of the most profitable groups and brands on the planet. You don't necessarily need them. A good example of this, and someone who's not taking any major risk or stupid activity or selling their product for less so quality drops, Hermes is still growing. There's no noise, there's no compromise, there's no collab with H&M on a Birkin bag. And they're still growing, they're still profitable, and they have one of the best growth factors in the industry. Of course, we need innovation, we need activity, because a lot of these brands are growing still, and a lot of these brands will be irrelevant within the next 20, 40 years if they don't tap into the next generation of buyers, tap into culture, and be culturally relevant. But I do not understand how they have this much resources, and this is what they come up with. What's very important as an ending note here is that luxury rules have not disappeared. They are still very much the same. It's still about exclusivity. It's still about status. It's still about identity. And if your brand completely forgets that, then your brand is just expensive, not a luxury. And now everything is online. People don't forget as easily anymore because everything is documented on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Google. Everything's there. Your brand erosion might be quicker than ever before. And believe me, customers know. And they remember. And they experience the same thing that the data shows them. We all know as customers the difference between expensive and luxury. They experience that entails. I think luxury and the luxury needs innovation. It needs some risk taking. It needs creativity. But breaking all the rules at once is definitely not the way to go. The rules are in place to actually stay in your lane. The rules are in place to stay premium, stay luxury, not to be an expensive product. My name is Alex, I run DS Marketing. We help luxury brands with their branding, positioning, and marketing. Let me know what you think about the recent events and developments in the luxury space. I'm very eager to discuss. Hope this video is interesting, and I'll see you in the next one.